Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Lars here. Today, we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive in and we're going to check out some of the single type cup. Now, I've been waiting for this to come around. I've been super excited. It is the very first time that it's going to be in Pokemon Go. It's cup debut, and there's a lot of people with a lot of questions, and so I'm here to answer those questions, right? So first off, we have Umbreon, and Umbreon, it's going to know Snarl, Dark Pulse, and Psychic. If you have one with Body Slam, that is totally fine. Body Slam works. It's just that I am seeing a little bit more fighters than I thought there would be, and so Psychic really either puts a lot of shield pressure or kills them outright. So either way, Psychic is fine, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use that, and it's gonna be our starter, and it absolutely just cuts through Muck. It cuts through obviously Ghost types and a lot of neutral types as well. So Umbreon probably the most important part of this team. If you don't have one, please build one. I know a lot of you have it built already. It costs a little bit of candy, but it is worth it. Trust me. So next up, we're going to talk about Hypno. And Shadow Hypno is going to know Confusion, Shadow Ball, and Focus Blast. Confusion is a 4-turn move. It takes forever, but Shadow Ball and Focus Blast covers a huge swath of the field. We've beaten a lot of Registeel thanks to Focus Blast, right? It will absolutely KO it, and it is an important part of the team. And then finally, we have Shadow Grand Bull with Charm, Crunch, and Close Combat. Same thing with our charge moves, covering a huge chunk of the field. And Charm, of course, does its Charm thing, which is if you get down to the wire and you have a couple shields left, there's not a lot your opponent can do, especially if they're down to 1 or 0 shields. So there is the team. Now let's go ahead and let's use it. And it's actually a fairly easy team to get accustomed to. So here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's time for business. Let's go ahead and start off with Meganium. And with Meganium, of course, it's going to know Razor Leaf. It's going to know Earthquake. We already know that, but hey, no problem. Go ahead. Use this Dark Pulse like crazy. Umbreon, the ruler of our team, go ahead, throw that Dark Pulse. Bring in, we're going to go ahead, we're going to bring in Grand Bull, and then they're going to go ahead and they're going to bring in their Registeel. Now, a lot of people are using Grand Bull as like the center of their team. We're using it to a little bit of a lesser degree as sort of a bait, really. We want them to bring out those Mucks. We want them to bring out those Registeels. We want them to bring out all those Pokemon that, we can beat or that we need out. There we go. We're going to go ahead and use that Crunch against good old Cofagrigus. We're going to go ahead and Umbreon's going to do its thing. It's a chance for us to farm some energy, and then the quick switch. We're going to quick switch to Hypno. No problem. Hypno can tank a Frenzy Plant, just FYI. Absolutely. They're going to get one more off, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to tank it. There we go. There it is. And now all we have to do, throw this Crunch against Cofagrigus, and their options are running out by the moment. So there we go. They're going to go ahead. They're going to say goodbye. But guess what? They're going to have to get off 2 Shadow Balls here. There's one. Quick boop. We throw the second Shadow Ball, and that is that. There we go. On to the next battle. So, Sea King, really prevalent during the first day. A few days later, not as much, but since it is a new meta, new team, I figured I'd still just show it just to be safe. We're going to go ahead, and then as soon as we can, we're going to throw another Dark Pulse. Here comes an Icy Wind. No problem. Go ahead, throw this Dark Pulse like so. There it is. And then they're going to go ahead. They're going to throw one more charge move. There's a Drill Run. And then we're just going to kill it with our Fast. There we go. And now it's time. We're going to wait for just 1 second. And then they're going to go ahead and they're going to bring out. Well, it's a fairy. We don't know who. But nope, it's Clefable. Bring in Granbull. They're going to go ahead. They're going to use Charm. They weren't really sure what to do. They just kind of flinched for a moment. We're going to use this Crunch here. There we go, just to lower their defense. And now Charm's going to hit a little bit harder against this Registeel. So go ahead, let the Zap kind of hit us. Say goodbye to our beloved Granbull, who is being used for baits at the moment. So there's a Dark Pulse. Totally fine. We're going to get one more off. And at this point, it's pretty much over. With 2 shields, and they have 0 shields, we just have to slap it a few times. We could even let this one hit us. Zap Cannon isn't going to kill us. There we go. And that is that. On to the next battle. Let's see what we got going on. We have our Umbreon versus... Now, this is a regular Ninetales. Obviously, it only can be. It's going to know Weather Ball and Overheat. No problem. Overheat will not KO an Umbreon if it's at full health, so you're good. There we go. This person goes all in, which is, I wouldn't suggest doing this early just because nobody's going to know what anybody else has in the backfield. And so you're taking a huge, huge gamble on this, and you should play it a little bit more conservatively, especially since it's not like, Great League or Ultra League where everybody knows what the meta is. And, we can make a really good prediction of what they have in the back. So yeah, there's a Psychic. There we go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to bring in Hypno, few quick slaps, say goodbye to Ninetales, and then here comes Registeel. So with Registeel, we know they're going to switch as soon as we get the Focus Blast. Don't let them, make us throw a Focus Blast here. So they switch to Hypno. We are bringing in Granbull. It becomes Granbull versus Hypno. No problem. Let this one hit us because we have to. There it is. We're going to throw one more Shadow Ball coming their way. And now, guess what? They cannot get off another charge move before we get to our Focus Blast. There we go. And that is that. End of the battle. On to the next one. Let's do it. Okay, we have a Muck. Now, best case scenario here, because Umbreon absolutely destroys Muck. There is just not much Muck can do here, because Muck has, Thunder Punch and Dark moves, or some people give it Acid Spray and Dark moves, but it really can't hurt Umbreon. So go ahead, charge it on up. They quick switch. We are quick switching to Granbull. We have to use a shield here. We're going to let the first one hit us. The second one, we will opt the shield, but then they have to make a crucial decision. There we go. Shield this one. No problem. There it is. Now throw this crunch. Here we go. They opt not to shield. It's going to take their health down a ton. Here we go. Umbreon is in. And now they're kind of doing Thunder Punch. No problem. We're going to go ahead and we're going to hit them with this Dark Pulse. Say goodbye to Muck. Here they got in the back. They have Dragonair. So we're going to go ahead and let this one hit us. Let the Body Slam hit us and save that shield. There we go. And now here comes a Shadow Ball. So with Shadow Ball, go ahead, throw it. And now their options are very, very, very limited. All right, they throw this Body Slam, and then we get one fast move off. We throw this Dark Pulse, and that's that. It's over. On to the next battle. You have a Dusclops looking really, really dapper. They quick switch. They switch to Vigoroth. Now, Vigoroth is a little bit of a problem for us because we have to figure out what to do. And luckily, I'll tell you what to do. So go ahead, throw two Dark Pulses. They're going to shield a second. And then it's time to switch to Granbull as soon as we do. So here comes number 2. There's a shield. Granbull is coming out. Granbull is going to have to tank a Body Slam. No problem. Granbull's got it. There it is. Then take care of this Vigoroth. They're going to go ahead. They're going to bring in good old Mew, which wasn't really expecting. We do not get the crunch off. But you know what? It's fine. No problem. We got it. So go ahead with Hypno. Let this one hit us. It's a flame charge. No problem. Here comes Dusclops. We're going to use this Shadow Ball, and it's going to do a huge chunk of damage. And Dusclops, for those of you that haven't used it, is very, very tanky. But even so, it, just gets down to its very, very last bit of health. Ice Punch there. They quit. It's over. There we go. So, best case scenario, another one. They go ahead. They switch. We're going to switch as well. No need to shield here. Even though our Shadow Granbull is very, very squishy, we can still tank quite a number of different things. So there we go. They're going to wait the clock just for a split second. And then we don't, unfortunately, get this Trunch off. No problem. Here comes Umbreon. There we are. They're going to go ahead. They're going to use a Wild Charge. They got nothing left to lose. There's a Wild Charge. We're going to go ahead and we're going to throw this Dark Pulse. They have to shield if they want to save their Mew. There we go. They quick switch. And with Hypno just slaps that and champ around. No problem. On to the next one. Now, this one is a toughie. We still win. It's a close one. But our Umbreon obviously doesn't have Last Resort. So that's a problem. They do have Last Resort. So we're going to double charge that. We are bringing in Granbull. And they're quick switching to Clefable. Go ahead and just keep on doing this thing. And we're going to use 2 shields here. Here's number 1. There's a Meteor Mash. I'm sorry, we're using 1 shield because their Clefable has Charm. Had it known Fairy Wind, we'd have to use 2 shields if we want to kill it with our fast move. Regardless, there's a crunch against this Swalot. We're going to go ahead. And they're charging it. We're going to throw another crunch here. They're going to let it hit us. Hit them. There we go. We do get the defense break, which is great news. They double charge. There's a Sledge Bomb. We say goodbye to Grand Ball, and they go ahead and they throw a Sledge Bomb against our Hypno. No problem. Here comes Dark Move, which is kind of a problem, but we hang on with a Sliver of Health. We're going to throw this Dark Pulse. We have 2 charge moves ready to go. There's one, and now just keep on charging up our energy. Here comes the last resort. Here comes another Dark Pulse. Just keep on pummeling their Umbreon with Dark Pulses, and you will be okay. So, there we go. There's a last resort. Here comes another Dark Pulse. And there it is. It's going to hit him, like so. We know what they're doing. Here comes another Dark Pulse. They're going to have to shield here. They shield, and then we say at the last minute, hey, Hypno, can you be a team player? He says, sure, why not? And then he takes one for the team. There's a Dark Pulse there. And we know what they're doing. We know they're going to quick switch into Swalot. There we go. There's Swalot. We say, you know what? You cannot get another charge move off. So we're going to farm you for a little bit of energy. Your Umbreon's going to come back, and we're going to take care of business. There we go. One fast move. That's that. End of story, and on to the next battle. Okay, so another best case scenario. So we have Copper Regis. They switch into Sea King just like before. We are throwing this Dark Pulse. Now this person actually shields the Dark Pulse because we know they're going to use Icy Wind to lower our attack just a little bit. And so the next charge move won't hit as hard as the first one would have. But still, we're totally fine. We're looking good. There we go. There's an Icy Wind. Throw the Psychic here because why not? There's that. We are switching to Hypno. And they're really just kind of hanging out. They're going to throw a, whatever they throw, it doesn't matter, because we're going to tank it. And then we say goodbye to their Sea King. We have 2 shields. They have 1. Here comes Umbreon. Throw this Focus Blast. There's a Focus Blast. And they quit. They realize it's over. Nothing they can do. There's the Victory Dance. Another best case scenario. There are so many Copper Regis in the lead, folks. It is crazy ridiculous. There it is. There's Registeel. So with Registeel, when they switch into Registeel, it's never a good thing. But go ahead, tank this Focus Blast like a champ. Throw this Dark Pulse. There we go. And now we are going to bring in Granbull and Charm it to death. Yes, I said Charm it to death. A Registeel. There we go. Zap Cannon, tank it. And now they cannot get another charge move off before we kill it. And that's that. So they have 2 shields. We are down to 1. And then here we go. Copper just back out, throwing this Crunch. There we go. There's 1. We break the defense, which is great news for us. So now it's still 1 shield versus 1 shield. We're not going to get greedy here, folks. Go ahead and say, we'll almost say goodbye to our beloved Grand Bull. So we bring in Hypno. It's over. Couple quick slaps. Now, like I said before, it can know payback, so be careful. But it doesn't. It's over. All right, it's time for the next battle. Let's see what we got going on. Bad lead for us. We want to get Umbreon out, pull Umbreon out, and we are throwing, of course, our Hypno in. And like I said before, just going to reiterate, you can get a Shadow Ball off before Grand Ball gets a Crunch. So be aware. All right, time to kind of run down the clock just a little bit. We are throwing in Umbreon. Get a low battery, of course. And then few fast move boops, we kill it. Here comes Vigoroth. So go ahead, throw this Dark Pulse, no problem. There's 1. We're going to go ahead and then we're going to throw a second one as soon as we can. But first, a Body Slam. So there we are. And now here comes this second Dark Pulse. This person opts not to shield. We throw in Granbull. It becomes Granbull versus the most interesting and weird Pokemon you have ever seen, Dunsparce, who's like, what is it? Mega, what is it called? It turns into Dunsparce, which is just a larger version of Dunsparce. So weird. So anyhow, go ahead, shield it. There's a drone. We're going to go ahead and we're going to kill this thing with our fast move. So there we go. And now it's going to get a body slam off. But guess what? Umbreon is so tanky. There's a body slam, couple fast moves, and that's that. We win. And now we're going to go ahead and mosey on over to the next battle. So this is a great one. They switch to Meganium. We say, whatever. Whatever. Here comes a Frenzy Plant. There it is. We're going to go ahead and we're going to charge this up just a bit. And here comes a Dark Pulse. There's Dark Pulse number 1. Here comes Dark Pulse number 2. There's that. And then Hypno's coming in. Like I said before, remember, Hypno can tank a Frenzy Plant. It is no problem. So, a couple quick slaps. The game is down. Hypno v Hypno. We're going to use a Shadow Ball and force him to shield. There it is. They do shield. And then we're going to keep on slapping. And then we say goodbye to our Hypno, who did a great, amazing, outstanding job. And we are bringing in our, after a few seconds, we're waiting. And then here comes Umbreon. They bring in Haxorus. And then we quick switch and we catch their move. And we're going to go ahead and Breaking Swipe. Now we don't want our Grand Ball to take any more damage. So go ahead. Even though it feels like a sin, still shield this one. There we go. We're going to throw this Crunch here. And now they have to shield. And so when Umbreon comes in, they will have 0 shields left. And then we can throw this last resort, or I'm sorry, not last resort. We can throw this Dark Pulse, and we are looking really, really, really good. And that's that. All right, on to the next one. So here is a Sand Slash. Not a low one, of course, but a regular Sand Slash, which is really interesting because it knows Earthquake. So there is a Dark Pulse. We're going to go ahead and get ready for an Earthquake here. Brace yourselves. There it is. Done. And now go ahead, throw this Dark Pulse. They do, however, catch our move. Here comes a Clefable, excuse me. And then we're going to go ahead. We are bringing in Grand Bolt. Go ahead, shield this one. No problem. There's the Meteor Mash, but we say, we're going to have a Crunch ready to go for Sand Slash or for whoever they decide to bring in. Wait a few seconds, and here comes Sand Slash, of course. Go ahead, use this Crunch. Num, num. There we go. And now go ahead and let this one take care of us. There's the Earthquake. We say goodbye to Granbull. Here comes Hypno. It becomes Hypno versus Granbull. And just like before, remember, we can beat it. No need to even use a shield. We still have HP left. Here comes a Shadow Ball meant for Sand Slash. Not a lot they can do now. They realize it's over. That's that. All right. Great fight. On to the next one. So we quick switch because we have a horrible lead. We switch into Granbull. They switch into Hypno. Same scenario as last time. Last battle reversed. So use this Crunch. There it is. They say goodbye to our Granbull. We bring in our beloved little Umbreon. They use a Thunder Punch. Now, we know they don't have Focus Blast here, so do not use a charge move. Take this opportunity to absolutely farm this Hypno down. Get as much energy as you can, and don't worry because it's just going to be Thunder Punch. There we go. We say goodbye to Hypno, and now it's time for a little Psychic action against Sylveon. There it is. And now we're going to go ahead. We're bringing Hypno. They are bringing him a champ. They realize they made a mistake. And, well, shield it just in case there's like something weird going on. We lagged and they have payback. But whatevs. Here comes a Shadow Ball coming their way. They shield, prolong the inevitable. And then one last Shadow Ball. And that is that. All right, time for the very last battle of the day. I want to thank y'all for watching. And I'll be back tomorrow or the next day with some more footage. So we're going to close with the good case, best case scenario. They switch to Vigoroth. We're going to go ahead. We're going to throw this Dark Pulse. There we go. They not to shield. We're going to charge it on back up. But before we can, here comes a Body Slam. There it is. And then, of course, we're going to go ahead. Let this one hit us. No problem. We're good. Body Slam. Here comes a Dark Pulse. Just kind of hitting each other, returning each other's favors. This and that. We bring in Granbull. They're going to go ahead, same thing as before. Go ahead, let this one hit us, no problem. There's a Body Slam. And then they opt not to take their Vigoroth out, obviously, because they can't. And then here comes a Crunch heading their way. There we go. Little Crunch action. They say goodbye. And now it becomes their Registeel versus whatever we have, which is, of course, Hypno. So Hypno can take a Zamp Cannon. It absolutely can tank it. So go ahead, let this one hit us while we charge up this Focus Blast. And now we're going to switch to Umbreon. And Umbreon, our little Umbreon, is going to die here. But it'll be back next battle, right? So there it is, Focus Blast. And now, as a courtesy, we know they're going to shield. We throw this Focus Blast, but there is nothing they can do. Because we can get off a Focus Blast here before they can get off 3 charged moves, right? There we go. We're actually going to get it off before they can even get off a second one. So it doesn't matter. It all doesn't matter. We're going to win in the end. We're absolutely going to win. And that is that. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and let me know if you have any questions or comments.